This is Caius, the leader of the cult of pizza. And remember, guys, we love you, and you've been watching CCP Podcast.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. I am Chris Page, and we have got a fantastic show right here today. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here. Mr. Rain, I already see you in chat, brother. I hope you're doing well. Today, we're not going to waste a whole lot of time or energy as we're rolling solo. Toddy couldn't make it today. John is on a little hiatus again, but I have no qualms in sitting down with our guest. I have been watching this guy for the last 4 or 5 years and had the honor and have the honor and privilege of not only sitting down and talking to him today, but actually sponsoring him on a show that's coming up this weekend that we're going to talk a little bit about here in just a few minutes. You guys know him. If you do not know him, you have been living under a fucking bridge forever. Mainstay with Limitless Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Evil Gay. Mr. Aaron Rourke, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, this is my pleasure. It truly is, man. I could not be happier when we were able to set this up and line this up to the degree that I even told the JOB, I'm out. I got something to do. It has priority. So Evil Gay has taken priority today, man, and I could not be happier to get some time with you. And I hope first of all, how are you doing? How's your Wednesday going?
Oh, going great. Completely chill, understated day, understated look.
Yeah,
it's another casual Wednesday.
It's it is indeed casual. The eyes are popping in chat. I want to say real quick, we've got Mr. Rain popping in saying the moment we have been dying for. Aaron, he's giving you some hearts and some rock and roll fingers, ready to rock and roll, man.
Stop it.
Right? Like
y'all are too much.
I did the same thing, Mr. Rain. Don't feel bad. You weren't privy to the pre-call, but it's all right. I got my fanboying out. I'm ecstatic, man. Truly, to be able to sit down and pick your brain a little bit, because there's a lot to unpack and there's a lot that I do want to talk to you about, and some stuff, may not be covered on other shows or other interviews or podcasts that you've sat down on. Some stuff probably will be, and that's okay too. And I'm stoked to get the opportunity. And when I get you guys in, one of the first things I always want to know is, how did you fall in love with professional wrestling? And, the stereotypical, where does it intersect with you?
Oh boy. So for me, I started watching wrestling when I was 5, the year 2000. My earliest memory is Undertaker pushing Rikishi off the Hell in the Cell into that bed of wood chips.
I was there.
You were there?
I was there.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite matches of all time.
Yep, that was in Alabama. I was there.
I'm so jealous. I was literally like 5 seeing that, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And that was my first memory of it. And I just remember ever since then, flipping through channels to find it. I think once I got a little older, maybe like 7 or 8, I understood the concept of like cable TV. I'm like, okay, this show is on at this time on this day. So if I sit and wait on a Monday until 8 o'clock at night, Monday Night Raw will come on. And then took off from there. So I've been in love with wrestling, I guess, now for 25 years. My longest love.
I get it. I was watching in the 80s. I think it's hilarious that one of your first moments is a show that I was physically at.
I know, that's crazy. That's why.
You get so many moments like this. Even I didn't expect that, but it's happened once or twice before where somebody was like, "Oh, I was there." Like somebody's Mania moment was Flair and Shawn Michaels. Of course, that's one of the iconic moments. It's like, it's in Orlando. I was there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's wild.
You got to witness that live. That's crazy.
Yeah. I cried. Not gonna lie.
Oh, who wouldn't? I think not a dry eye in that stadium. There better not have been.
Openly. Had no problems with it either. No problems at all. And still cry to this day when I watch that match back. I think that's
of course.
To be fair, it's one of my go-tos when I sit down and I want to watch something that I haven't checked out, and I intentionally don't watch it often. So just when I do go back, yeah, I get hit. I get the chills. I'm a baby, big old baby.
I feel that I have a couple matches like that where I just go back, and 9 times out of 10 that match will make me like tear up with emotion. Especially now being a wrestler.
What are some of those matches, if you don't mind me asking?
So of course, number one is probably Bayley versus Sasha Banks, NXT Brooklyn. I mean,
it's fantastic.
It's a match that I literally watched live. Not there. I was in college, but I watched it. Like, I remember I paid for it, like, on my phone to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that match probably so much I could tell you everything that happens per minute. And the ending will never not give me goosebumps, make me cry. Just the emotion in that match in general and what they were doing and what they were creating. Now, of course, 10 years down the road, it's incredible. That match makes me so emotional just because, like, imagine what they were feeling in that time.
You correct me if I'm wrong, that was their main event. That was
co-main event.
Co-main event. Okay, so I know that they did headline show, but yes, no, that, and the crowd was lit as fuck for that match, dude. It truly was
so
a
good.
masterpiece. And at a time when, you know, women's wrestling was on the upward swing a little bit, but that, you know, I credit kind of, and I hope I don't get heat for this, but I kind of credit the 4 horsewomen of NXT for, you know, really spiraling in the higher work rate, and, you know, we're more than just you know, models and you know, what have you. We can get out here and go, and now, dare I say, currently, I think that there are a plethora of female wrestlers better than the men. And
it's the era of women right now. They're taking over,
and in a good way, and in a good.
Sorry, male flops. Sorry to the men. We're flopping. I'm sorry. It's the woman's time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. I think that there's something to that, because it is indeed fantastic to see. We've got one of my co-hosts, Toddy. He's a diehard women's wrestling guy, and cannot stop gushing over where it's at now versus where it was and where it's going, which is going to be fantastic to see too. With when you say you fall in love with it here, you know, the process for you to get into professional wrestling, at what point in time does that become a thing for you, and what did the process look like?
So I always grew up wanting to be a wrestler. It was one of those things where I guess some kids see their profession as a kid, like, I want to be a firefighter, this or all that. I saw professional wrestling and I said, that is for me. I was like, of course, as I got older, I started to realize it's because there was showmanship, there was art, there was violence. It was a mix of everything. And I was a kid who grew up playing sports, but I also was a theater kid. So I sang for decades, danced for 9 years, acted for like my entire life. But I also loved track, and I did football with Gabby Forza. That's how we came to know each other.
Love McGabby.
Of course, we all love that story. She, of course, stayed playing sports, and I, of course, decided to go a different route. But yeah, it was something I always wanted to do, and always in the back of my brain, like, I want to do that. That's all I want to do. And as you just get older and you keep up with that, I feel like some people tend to fall out of wrestling. I don't think I fell out. I think I took a step back for a little bit. But then when I came back forward, it was even more prevalent that I just wanted to be a wrestler so bad. And then I feel like things shifted for me in college, because I didn't want to go to college. But my mom was like, you need a degree. You need to get a degree in case anything happens. So get a degree, then join wrestling. So went to college, did my 4 years. And then as soon as I graduated, I looked up wrestling schools near me, and Creative Pro popped right up 7 minutes from my house. And
sold.
Walked in June 13th, 2018, and never looked back.
I think that's a fantastic little way to get into things. I remember when I say back in my days, I feel like an old dude at that point. We just you had to go knock on doors and hope, at shows and hope that you didn't, get wrong advice or someone wasn't just trying to take your fucking money.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's so much. I'm not gonna say it's so much easier because it's not. There's nothing easy about professional wrestling, not a thing. But to get into like reputable programs and reputable places, it is more readily available, and I think that's another aspect of the evolution that I really get off on and enjoy because there's so much young talent out there, and to get them trained up the right way and get them in the right spots, it's really good to see. And with you, I'm not going to waste the time of, oh my god, what did you have difficulties with here or there. Like, I want to get into the character work, brother. Like, you are incredible with it. And one thing about professional wrestling is you constantly have to evolve. How does, Aaron Rourke come together and piece in the character and the evolutions that you have had along the way? Because they've all been really, at least the ones that I've seen over the last 4 to 5, have been really kind of interesting, and all of them have been just a little bit different here or a little bit different there. What's the process like for you?
So first of all, I will say anything the thing I love the most about wrestling is the persona or the personality you present to people. I think that is what I love. The athletic stuff, don't get me wrong. I love to flip and do da and do all that in the ring and have fun and wrestle and beat the crap out of each other. But there's something about that moment when you walk out of the curtain and you're you, and it's like, I'm Aaron Rourke and I'm in that robe with that makeup and glitter, and it's like you just feel like you're walking into the stadium. It's halftime show and you are the object of envy. It is a drug, a hard drug that I will never get rid of. It's amazing. But for my character, I always knew coming into wrestling that I was not going to be the masculine one. I was not going to be your bruiser. I was not going to be your ass kicker. I was going to be the sassy one, the flamboyant one, the one with a lot of attitude, and the one who had a mouth and certainly knew how to use it and cut people with it. So I kind of had this formation of what Aaron Rourke was. He was this like delusional, and and especially where I was starting, like we say, like year 1 to year 3, like in that stage, I was this like delusional newcomer, kind of getting his bearings. He thought he was perfection. There was no one better than him. Like, he's gonna set the standard and all that. And through the years, your character shifts with you. So as we get a little later into the career, you saw I brought out my different jackets now. Now it was like a denim jacket with spikes, and it was a different look. It was a little more futuristic, a little more cybery, a little less regal, and a little more like current and modern. And I think that was just how I was feeling at the time. I was feeling like I wasn't him anymore. I wasn't this flashy young peacock. I was this guy who was molding and changing and finding himself, and was starting to become brighter and undeniable. So it was like, let them see me. Let them see the light up glasses. Let them see the neon paint. Let them see the shredded jacket and the cool gear and the change in music. I went from a much more like regal version of my song to a much more heavy rock version of my song.
Yep.
And it's funny because then it all comes back in a loop, because nowadays I find myself merging both, where it's like I go back to the guy who was so blinged out in the robe and a little more regal and a little more like mystical and a little out of this world kind of presence. Now that I have a little more like experience under my belt and a little more time in the business, like it kind of comes full circle. But I feel like my character has always just stayed true to himself. I never try to be something that I'm not. I'm always authentic, and I feel like that's why. And by the way, Aaron Rourke is completely different than the person sitting in front of you. Like, he is all the way over there, and I am all the way over here. But Aaron has always stayed true to himself. and he has never tried to be anything. And what he says he puts his mind to. He says he's perfect. He's going to walk out there and show you why he's perfect. He says he's perfection and he's the dime piece and he's evil gay. He will show you why. Because nobody works harder than him. Nobody takes their appearance more seriously than him. No one takes his whole package as seriously as he does. Aaron, in his brain, is the king of this landscape, and everyone kind of just like fuddles around. He is the whole show. When that spotlight is on, it is on him and him solely. So everyone else is background. He's foreground.
I love that because I always tell something when I talk about all the guys that come on the show. I was like, people can see through fake. If and don't get me wrong, I love character work. And we watch a lot of wrestling all over the world. I see a lot of people on my screen every week, and they're all new. They're all first time watches. But I have I can see through fake, and one of the big things is when like people try too hard. So I can appreciate the fact that you're like, this is 1,000% over here, and I'm over here, and I just find that happy medium, and that's where I think a lot of people will find more success. Is you can be a character, but you can also be authentic with your character too, and not overdo it or force it or make it feel less than or that you're trying too hard. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think coming from an acting background, it helps because you're taught to funnel how you might feel through a character and how you funnel reactions through their lens. So everything I say is Aaron Rourke. Me, the person, might actually believe that I'm the best. For example, at Limitless, I keep saying it's my year. Like, I work hard, I do this, I do that. And I do believe that. But I have to translate it through Aaron Rourke to make sure everyone believes it when he says it. And through that lens, it comes across authentic because I am saying the truth to me and to Aaron Rourke. We speak our truth. I just happen to funnel it through a very glittery, feathery, rhinestone lens that loves to scream, shout, and have every sort of emotion under the sun.
And I am totally here for it because, I am a firm believer, representation matters 100%. And I love the guys who I say give no fucks and go out there and do it. And, we talked a little bit before we came on the air about something that I want to get to in just a second. But before I get there, something that I did mention before we came on the air that drew me into you years ago is your connectability and being able to, whatever you're doing, whether you're evil gay or you're Aaron Rourke, you babyface or heel, you can connect with any audience that I've seen you in front of. And I've seen you in front of many audiences, not just specific with Limitless or Beyond or a couple. Like we go through and we watch a lot of different stuff. We've seen 2 hours of your stuff in the past. I've seen you work in other companies, and I see the reaction. How important is it to connecting with that crowd, and how do you make it look so effortlessly?
I think it's one of the most important things about this job and in this business, especially in this day and age where everything is within a fingertip or like a touch away. Like, you can find out someone in under a minute. You can find out their name, age, where they're from, their birthday, their sign, whatever. In this day and age where authenticity is so preached about because you can see so much fake online, in every genre and all across the board, in everything. Where was I going with this? This is what happens. I get a thought and then it runs off the rails.
It's all right. I have ADD too. ADHD, actually. So I get it 100%.
Yes.
It's all over the place.
Thank you.
Authenticity and the levels of it and why it's important, essentially.
Yeah. So I think the main point is just being authentic. Like you said, people are going to know when you're being fake. You can hear it in the voice. You can see there's not any emotion behind it. People want to feel things. That's the best thing about wrestling, is that what we do in there makes everyone on the outside feel something. And it connects with them. And that's why I feel like maybe to some people I have a much easier time connecting with the audience. I do appreciate you bringing that up, by the way. Thank you.
Yes,
because I do think it's one of my strong suits as a wrestler or as someone who entertains, is that I can connect with a lot of different audiences, because no matter what, what you see is what you're going to get. So you can decide right then and there if this is for you or not for you. Because like you said, I am 100% me. I go out there, I don't give a fuck what I look like, what you think I look like. You can call me whatever you want, but you have to pay attention to me. And you have to listen to me or watch me. And 9 times out of 10, no matter what spectrum you're on, no matter what your opinion is, when someone sits and watches me do what I do, they're like, that guy. That guy I connect with what he's saying, I'm entertained by him, I'm interested in him. And I think when you just have that ability to touch someone with what you do or what you say, everything goes out the window because they start to feel something. And that's what we are meant to do as the wrestlers, make the audience feel something.
I could not have even said that better. 1000%. And truly, it is a strong facet of your game, is being able to make that connection. And what makes it more impressive is, you see a lot of guys that can make a really solid connection as babyface, but maybe when they flip heel, it's not as strong or not as intense as the reaction. But you can get it either way and get it the same either way, and it's truly something to see. And it's a layer of the game that really should be studied, in my opinion, because if that kind of psychology is really, really good. It was something that I was decent at, or I'm gonna say decent. I was pretty good at it. I was a good talker. I could talk you into the building and fucking watch somebody beat the shit out of me. That's all you need to do. That's how we did it back in the day. Before we go further, I want to go over to the chat because we do have a couple of questions. Mr. Rain, let me pull that up. Where did your question go? Give me 1 second. Now it's me that's having the problem. I can ask JB's question. JB's asking, very curious because he's a theater actor himself. With your acting chops, have you been cast in anything out? Besides professional wrestling, have you done any acting gigs? Anything you want to talk about, Wise? No. Okay.
I mean, I was on a show called Human versus Hamster on HBO Max. Like, some people come up to me and mention that show, which is crazy. It was crazy. It was like me and a former wrestler named Coach Mamone, who trained at Creative Pro and worked at like VPW and Beyond and all that. It was teams of humans were not only going up against each other, but together we're going up against hamsters to see who is the better species. So my episode was me and Coach Mamone versus these lawyers from Long Island as well. I don't know if that's considered acting chops, because I literally was just me. But I encourage people to watch it. I lose my pants like every challenge because they didn't have a drawstring on and I didn't know how physical the challenges were going to be. So if you like comedy and like me freaking out about me losing my glittery pants during multiple challenges, feel free to check it out. It's honestly a very funny show. Acting chops, what's really funny? When I was like 9, I was going to be in the toothpaste commercial, and my dad and I were driving to the audition to like do it and then hopefully get casted, and we got a flat tire, and my dad looked at me and said, "That's a sign we shouldn't do this," and drove home.
He sounds like a smart man.
Yeah,
it's an omen. We got to get out of here now.
But yeah, you will not catch me on any TV shows or anything like that. But maybe you'll see some of my old musical performances from like my middle school and high school if they're online somewhere, or my old dance recitals. Please don't go searching. Don't torture me about it on Twitter, please.
Don't do
it. It's embarrassing.
Question from Mr. Rain. He's asked, what's a moment that you're most proud of thus far in your career, or moments or lessons learned that you're most proud of?
Okay, so moment, of course, there's a couple, so I'll list a few.
Sure.
Getting ID'd, number 1. Number 2, having Dijak's first match back on the Independence. meant a lot to me. I felt like I set the standard for him with that match and what everyone should expect. And I know he really liked it. And I remember that night he put me over on Twitter talking about me, and it still to this day is something that I will never be able to thank him enough for. I think he really opened a lot of people's eyes to me that day. So thank you, Dijak. Winning probably the Creative Pro belt. There's nothing like winning your home promotions belt. So that was very touching to me. Honestly, there's a lot. Going to Germany with Ava Everett, doing the Y2Cutie stuff in Germany with her was a blast, and like just such a life moment. And I mean, there's moments of like me and MSP and Channing Thomas and Alec getting a van and driving to New South in Alabama, and those memories hold a lot of weight for me because it was 3 days of just travel in a van that had a TV. We brought a Switch. We plugged it up to the TV. We were playing Mario Kart in the car. It was crazy. Something that I take with wrestling in terms of like a quote that has stood with me. Wrestling is a marathon, not a sprint. So if you're in it for the short haul, you're not in it for the right reason, because the way you become successful in this business is your longevity and how long you can stay in this business. So don't expect to run a 400 when this is a marathon.
Absolutely. 1000%. Mr. Rain, I hope you got your answer that you were looking for there. Appreciate you guys asking questions. By all means, keep them coming. I will get them worked in. I want to talk to you a little bit about Limitless Wrestling, because that is definitely where I came across you for the very first time many years ago. And really over 2025, we watch Limitless on our streams. We, make our clips and we try and throw stuff out there. You've had a hell of a run there. And I don't want to, but before I get there, I don't want to look past this, because you just mentioned you had Dijak's first match coming out of the Fed, back on the independent scene. And that is a moment, because that right there means that there's a lot of trust in you, and there's a lot of value in you to do what needs to be done here, to set him up for success or failure coming out of the Fed. I think that is an incredible moment to really sit back and think about, because again, I say representation matters, and it's coming, I promise. But to be that guy, and it'll come up in the piece of that conversation, it is fucking huge on so many different levels.
No, I agree. It is to be that guy, or to be a top guy in any aspect on any promotion, is lovely. Especially when you are a queer person. I think people tend to think that because it's 2025 and we're so progressive, that being gay is like not that important anymore. And to a degree, like, yes, people have eased up about it and people are a lot more accepting. But with like what you said before, representation matters so much, because although I'm a grown up now, and whatever trauma I dealt with, and now I'm an adult and I'm better for it, there's still kids who are like me, like you, like other queer people, who need to see that on TV, who need to look on the TV. And I don't mean hang a neon sign from the person that says, I'm gay, but they look and they go, that guy is clearly queer. I feel like one day maybe I could be him. Because if I had that, who knows how my life would have been differently. Again, my role models were the women growing up. Those were the people I saw myself in, not because I wanted to be a woman, but just because I wasn't like these masculine wrestlers beating the piss out of each other. I had a lot more personality and a little more flamboyancy, and I liked sparkles and rhinestones. And I was raised by basically my mom and my sister. They were like my closest friends, so badass women. Let's go. But yeah, representation like matters. So to be in that spot is never lost on me, and I'm grateful for it. And I could go on and on about Limitless, because it's been a climb and it's been a journey, and
I think that's kind of not to cut you off, but I think that's kind of why I dig it, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. is because it's not something that happened overnight. You've been a mainstay in Limitless for years, and this past year, 2025, I do have a bone to pick with Limitless Wrestling, and that bone is I was heavily invested in the story with Channing Thomas, and first of all, I know that Desmond Cole got injured, and it probably pivoted plans and it pivoted some things, but that pivot, you and Gabby took that opportunity and made the fucking most of it. I was so invested in you and Channing. Like I wasn't able to catch the show live as it was happening because I was streaming another company. Sorry guys, but I work with a lot of different people. I was streaming another company that I have a relationship with. But I did go back literally the next day just to watch and see what happened. I didn't look at the internet. I didn't look at social media. I didn't want a spoiler, but I went and I saw it, and I was so pissed when the finish came down and I didn't get an evil gay win. That crowd was hot. They were ready. It was primed, and they had to fucking screw us. But I really want to commend you for the work that you're doing there, and not, I mean, you and Gabby and several others that have been really over the last 4 to 5 years crushing it. And I'm curious from your perspective, what does it feel like to be in that position? Because I would consider you a top guy there. I would consider you a top guy anywhere on the independent scene, to be fair. But I look at it as from a company standpoint, working your way to that point. Yeah, that's got to be top guy moment.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, it feels crazy just because I remember how I came in with art and to see where I started and where I've gone to. And I don't want that to sound negative on art at all. My time with Ava and Ricky were some of the best times of my wrestling career. I mean, we were just three wrestlers who had a point to prove, and we wanted to show like we belonged and we deserved to be there. And I felt like every time we were together, we were just like, how can we just make a moment? How can we just be so ridiculous that people just watch us and want to see what we do? And when they watch us wrestle, like, what are we going to do that's going to piss people off? Or what are we going to do that's going to make them laugh? Or like get them invested in us? Like when we locked Ichiban in a closet during a tag match. Or like when we would write on people with like lipstick or like do glitter bombs or hold our meetings in the bathroom, like the girls' room from the Amanda show. Like it was some of the best times. But yeah, for Limitless and working my way up there, I've often said I'm the kind of person who hustles and grinds in silence. I don't speak about how hard I work as me. Aaron Rourke, different. As me, I don't speak about how hard I work or what I do because I feel like we're all working hard. We're all doing it. Like, who am I to take away from someone else? But I felt like that's what's kept me going, and that's how people see like the progression is because every year you see more improvement, more getting better, getting more of a presence, understanding who he is. Like you can see me get better as the years go on. And I don't know if I was ever meant to be the one at the top, but when that opportunity came, I was not going to let it pass me up. I understood who I am and what I can do and what I can portray and how I make audiences feel. And I was ready to show the world and everyone, like, pay attention to this star because it's going to shine really bright. And I feel like over the past couple of years, Limitless has given me the platform and the ability to really show up and show out. So to do that, and then not only have the love and support of Limitless Wrestling and the people in the back and the people upstairs, but from the fans as well, because these fans are hard to win over. I mean, you got names like Alec Price and Anthony Green who are like their home boys, you know, like they started there. They kind of built themselves there.
Mm-hmm.
You have people like MSP or like Aiden Agro, like who started there and is like their boy. So to be almost an outsider and work my way up that ladder to be someone at the top is very rewarding. And it's never lost on me every time I'm at a Limitless show that I have to make the most out of every time I'm here, because who knows how long I'll be on top? Who knows? But I got to show them I can be there for a long time.
Absolutely,
And it's not
100%.
just Limitless; it's everywhere. I love Limitless, but it's everywhere. I want everywhere to see like this guy could be on top. He could be your guy. You put there, here, anywhere, and he is going to be a star regardless.
And you knock it out of the park. It happens, and you make it look so effortlessly at times too. Excuse me. I do want to take a few minutes and I want to talk to you a little bit. We touched a little bit earlier about representation. Sorry, and how it matters, because it does. And I've sat down and I've had conversations with a lot of I feel talented professional wrestlers, queer wrestlers who are not feel like maybe they're not getting opportunity, and maybe they're not being treated fairly, or et cetera, et cetera. And in your case, like you're a success story. So I think that there's something that can be learned here. And from your perspective, how can some of these guys make a impact, or if they feel blinded and don't feel like they're being seen, how do you think that they could conquer that? Because I mean, I'm not trying to be negative by any means at all, but there are companies and there are things out there in society that don't give us a fair shot. I mean, it is what it is. But
Right.
you have in an industry where there's not a whole lot of representation, mainstream, or definitely on the indie scene now more than ever. I look at you and I look at Effie and I look at people like Dark Sheik as flag bearers for us. So if you had to give anybody out there who might be struggling, or who might need to hear how you have been able to become a success, because I'm telling you, it's something you said earlier. If you had the representation on television back then, you don't know where you would be now. You know what I mean? So representation is here, and you are one of the guys who have captured it, like with lightning in a bottle. What can you tell guys that might be struggling?
Um.
I know, it's a big question.
It's a touchy subject. I don't think people understand how hard it is when you are gay or queer or whatever, and you're in this business, because it is often looked down upon. And I don't want people to think like anywhere I've worked, people have looked down on me, or anyone who I've come from or trained with or whatever. I've had a lot of fortunate experiences of going to a school that did not care about my sexuality, working for so many promotions and so many promoters, working with talent who never batted an eyelash about me being gay and all that. But I would be lying if I said there wasn't so many times where I felt like doors were closed, or I was overlooked, or I had a harder time getting on places because people were probably like, well, how do we present that to this audience? I'm afraid for your well-being, which is a scary thing to hear. But I think I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you are queer and starting in this business, it is better nowadays, but it will be tough. There are going to be people who just want to discount you and be like, we don't need any of that, or like, not that there's anything wrong with it, just isn't meant for me. But I think talent always rises to the top. I think the cream always rises. You can't deny talent. And that's what I try and tell people, that you could be overlooked this year, next year, 5 years from now, however many years. You could be working so hard, and everyone around you can go, oh my God, you're amazing. Like it's just a matter of time. And you may feel like, well, when is a matter of time? Just know good talent always rises to the top. People will eventually see you. Just keep working. You're going to have to work harder because you're queer. It's unfortunate, but you will. But you have to keep working. If I stopped, I wouldn't be here. And now, being someone who has, even if I truly don't believe it, a little more representation, like me being representation for the community, is crazy to me that anyone looks at me as a role model or someone who is going to pave a way. I'm incredibly flattered. It is just something that I still, anytime someone says that, I'm like, really? Me, of all people? I think I would rather be myself and go through every trial and tribulation, but live authentically to me, than ever pretend to be something I'm not. And I think that comes through my character as well when we talk about authenticity. I refuse to be something I'm not. You are going to like it or you're not going to like it, but you're not going to tell me who to be. And I especially feel bad for people who can't come out or can't be who they truly are because they're afraid of outside things around them. Because life hiding yourself is a fate worse than anything else. Not being able to be who you are, especially in this business, like, what's the point? Like, be yourself, be open, and just keep fighting. Just keep fighting. Because, and I've always said this about my career, who knows what will happen down the line where I go, what happens, you know? Mm-hmm. If nothing happens and I leave in a couple years from now, I hope at least I left the door slightly more open for people like me to walk through that door and to be a success. So when a little queer kid turns on the TV and sees that person in a ring on mainstream television with merch fully represented, they go, I can be like that person. I can be him, her, they. I could be whoever that person is. Mm-hmm. Because there's truly a ton of people who in our community who are waiting to be recognized on a mainstream platform.
1000% agree. I've had several guys who've come on. Like, I'm open. I don't give a fuck if you have a problem with who I am and what I do. Sorry. Like, unless you pay my bills or any of that nature, then you can have an opinion. It just doesn't have to mean anything to me. But I've had guys that have come on that are closeted and after the fact conversations when it's just come up, because I'll just openly say it. You know, I thank God I have a husband who, you know, supportive of what I do, because this is, you know, 45 hours on the real job, and this is at least 40 hours on the backside. With this, with doing what we do here. I think I'd have a supportive husband. Well, it's my ask me, you know, how you think if I was to come out, would it be a problem? I was like, bro, who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, like, if you're afraid about losing work, I guarantee you there's another company out there that will pick you up. Guaranteed. I guarantee you that, you know, it is okay, and representation does matter. And I'm not saying you got to go and wave the flag from the top of the rooftops, but be yourself. You know, we live in a world where at any point in time you can be here today and gone tomorrow. And I lived in that closet in this industry from 99 to 05. And so I get it. I understand. But if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have fucking cared then. I'd be like, if you have a problem, two things can happen here. We can talk about it, or if you really are that serious about it, we can go outside. One or the other. I'm good either way, but I will be myself. That was the only regret that I had, was that I never. Yeah. And there are things today that haunt me sometimes, because I saw hazing. I saw some stuff that, you know, if I saw guys get run out of the locker room, saw guys get beat up, and I didn't do a goddamn thing. And I just wish that I wish that I had the confidence that now, 25 years ago, and I could have stepped up and did something and said something. But, you know, it sucks.
Different time. I mean, your life would have been at risk.
Yes.
In that time period. Yeah, and I think that's another thing that gets lost. People think we're just so progressive now. It's like some of this stuff only stopped happening like less than 2 decades ago. And there's still people here who are afraid to be themselves and come out. Mm-hmm. And I think also one note for anyone, queer wrestlers or queer people in general, please surround yourself with people who have your best interests and who love you. I know that there's a lot of queer people whose family don't support them. Family isn't always blood, and you can find family. It is so important to have a trusted support system. And I truly think that's how I got this far in life, because there were people who told me, you could never be a wrestler. You don't look like a wrestler. The people, I literally would hear this all the time. People like you can't be wrestlers. Why? Because you're too girly. And it's like, I don't know about you, but nothing that I look like right now screams girly.
At all. Period.
I don't know. Maybe the red beard's a little feminine. I don't know. Maybe it's my doughy eyes, but it was one of those things. If I didn't have people like my parents or my siblings or the people of Creative Pro like Brian and like all these people backing me and being like, no, like you can do this. You are talented. Like, please find a great support system. It makes a huge difference. Also, don't think you're alone. There are so many people struggling as well. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because there's tons of people struggling just like you and are willing to be your family and vice versa. So please don't ever think it's the end. It's truly the beginning of the best part of your life.
1000%, man. 1000%. And again, guys, if you're out there and you're watching, you're listening, you hear something resonate, I'm a DM away. My shit's right there on the screen. I'm not gonna say Perfect Aaron is a DM away. You can reach out and it get to you. But if you need help or you want to talk to somebody, man, that's why we're here. And we can always put you in touch with somebody else if you don't want to talk to us. It is what it is. We know the struggle, and the struggle's real. But
Yeah.
it is definitely come, and I don't want to sound negative by all of that, but professional wrestling has come 20 steps forward since then.
Oh, absolutely.
And I do feel like we're as an industry getting there. I really do. I do, and it's not that I don't have faith or anything like that, but I just know I've had a lot of guys that have come on the show, and that's been a piece of the conversation, and you are literally walking proof that if you do not quit on yourself, you can fucking get out here and do this, and not only do it, but make a pretty reputable reputation for yourself in the process. And that's exactly what you have done. It's like, it's trailblazing. It's breaking barriers. And it is opening the door for the future generations of independent wrestlers or professional wrestlers in general. I do want to take a minute because I want to talk a little bit about narcissistic behavior. It is Sunday. It's Sunday, brother. It is right around the corner, and you have got
It really is
one of the 4 matches that have been advertised. It involves you, sir. I want to chat with you and see where your thoughts are at as you're heading into this weekend. And how does this opportunity come up to you? Because I first of all am pleased to be able to sponsor you for the show. I told you before we came on the air, when Mr. Holiday sent me the list of the talent, I need him. I need Aaron. I need Anthony Green. I need Ben Bishop. And I asked about a couple others, and I settled on you 3. But you were there. As soon as I saw your name, I was like, I got to show my support in some form or fashion. And here we are. But how does the process come about for you to become a narcissist as you're heading into this weekend to tangle in a triple threat match?
fairly easy. There's no preparation. Aaron Rourke is already a narcissist, self-diagnosed, high levels of narcissism.
Mm.
There is. I just am gonna wake up and look in the mirror and go, "Yes, bitch," and that's it.
You're gonna fuck some worlds up this weekend. Is what it sounds like.
As I always do. To keep on kind of a narcissism. When do I not? Hello.
I love it, man. I can't wait to see the show. Obviously, I was actually coming to the event until my work. I've got starting tomorrow. I'm on 12 plus hours a day till August 15th.
Oh.
I was pissed. I was so pissed. I asked. I even tried. They were like, "Nope, it's mandatory." I went, "Fuck." I will be there in spirit, and I know that it'll be available after the fact. But I was stoked to be able to do that and know that I'm able to support you because you support so many others, and you don't even know it really. The reach that you have within our community is fantastic, and I truly admire you for being that guy that literally comes out and all the garb, the whole nine, flawless is how I like to put it. When you walk through that curtain and give no fucks, it is truly, it is something to that people should aspire to be to me personally, to not give a shit.
Thank you.
I've got
Listen, it's hard coming out and all that, you know? It's hard carrying around a 40-pound robe, but hey, someone's got to look glamorous on this show. Just like narcissistic behavior, you know? Someone's got to look glamorous. I feel bad for the flops in my match who are probably going to come out in their gear, serving 5 across the board, and I'm going to be serving 10s. So sorry. Sorry, boys. I'll bring sunglasses to shield your eyes.
It's fantastic. Mr. Rain has another question for you in chat. It was actually one I was going to ask on the way out, but I'll ask it now. What are some of your goals that you'd like to accomplish before the end of 2025?
Probably wrestle on TV, like an NXT or something like that. That would be fun. That's always hard for me because I feel like I've done a lot in wrestling in my time, and my biggest goal is just to always do something fun or noteworthy or something that I'm proud of. Like heading towards the end of 2025, I just want to be able to look back on the rest of it and go, yeah, I had fun. I did notable matches. I had some great moments. I did some things I never thought I'd do, which I've already done this year. Yeah, I think my biggest goal will always to be just keep doing Aaron Rourke. Never lose sight of the goal. Never lose sight of the main goal.
I love it. I love it. I got 2 more questions for you, and we'll start winding it down and tying a bow on things, because I am truly appreciative of the time that you were able to give me today, and I definitely don't want to keep you longer than I have to by any means, because everybody's time is valuable. Evil Gaze is a little bit more valuable than mine, and I don't want to hang on to him too long. I ask everybody who comes in here, and I would really, your answer to this is I'm very interested in. I always ask people, who should we be watching? And what I mean by that is people that you've been in the ring with, or you've worked with, or maybe they don't have a spotlight put on them that deserve to have a spotlight put on them. And I will give you my answer to why I asked you the question after you give me yours. It doesn't sound fair, but it will, I promise.
Okay, so I'm going to be biased for the first part of this. My children, the Shooter Boys, Anthony Vecchio and Aaron Ortiz, number 1, for 19-year-old fetuses that just popped into wrestling a year ago. They've already done more than I could have ever imagined that they would do, and that I did in my first year. They are true blue talents. They have it in spades. To think that they're 19, been doing this a year and some odd change, and they're already this good is diabolically insane. They're going to be such big stars in the future. Nick Robles from Creative Pro has been doing this for about 2 to 3 years, maybe even a little longer. Kid has it all. He's 22 years old. He's got the hair of a god. It's literally curly all the way down his back. Built like a god, flexible as all hell. A former amateur wrestler, by the way, and could tie you up legitimately in a pretzel. Charismatic, energetic, knows how to move in that ring. Dante Drago from Creative. It's going to be a lot of Creative Pro for this first half. So sorry to everyone listening. You're going to get a lot of Creative Pro. Dante Drago is the best. He's been doing some of his best work these past couple of years, not only in Creative Pro, but in Chaotic Wrestling. I highly encourage people to go there and watch his stuff with Paris Van Dale. It is some of the most entertaining stuff I've ever seen. And there's one thing about Dante, is that he can be handed shit and turn it into gold. And that's something that's really hard to attain and have, but he has that naturally. So I think when the timing's right, you're going to see just how great he is. Let's see. There's so many. I just wrestled someone from MCW. His name is Jadis Quinn, I think. Please, I'm so sorry if I'm getting it wrong, baby boy. I love you. I wrestled him in the Shane Shamrock Cup to the 2025. Everyone should go check out that show, by the way. The talent on there is immaculate. He is so good. He's another queer wrestler. So unafraid to be himself. So he just has star power. He has that sass. He has that energy. I highly encourage everyone to go check him out. Along the same lines, Angelo Carter, my baby girl. Watch him for the entrance alone. The fan clacking gets my life together. If you ever watch him on a show that I'm at and you listen hard enough in that video and you hear a fan clack, there's a oh that follows it. It's usually me in the audience. It's usually me screaming because it's so amazing and he's so talented. Gabby Forza, my girl, my homie Nomi. I mean, she's a monster. She talk about someone who can connect with the audience.
Yes.
Girl comes out there one time and she's got them. Recent congratulations to our new Creative Pro Women's Champion, Nat Castle. She's come a long way. She's working hard. She's another female standout at Creative Pro. She is fine-tuning. She's getting better, but damn, they don't call her the Latina Spice for nothing. That girl will put you in your place. People like Milo Mira from Limitless, just a matter of time, by the way, before somebody sees him. Because I see his crap on Facebook, on like Lad Bible, or whatever those like weird things pop up. It's always with him. Or Sports Kita will put a video out of him doing some pogo stuff. Him, Seabass Finn from Creative Pro, not Creative Pro, sorry, Chaotic, and also in Limitless Wrestling, a talent. Oh my God, the list can just go on. Livia, one of the new girls on the block. Livia, so cute, such a hard worker, has her own style, has her own look. I love it. God, there's so many. That's the best thing is like going to these places and meeting all this young talent now. Like, not that I'm old, not that I'm like a sage, but you know, I'm in my late 20s. I'm pushing. And a lot of these kids are like, they're just 20. They just stepped into 20. And they're already like a year in, 2 years in. And I'm like, girl, I was doing keg stands when I was your age. And you're in here putting on classics? Unfair. Unfair.
If you're pushing it in your late 20s, then I'm definitely over the hill. But here's why I ask you that question and why it means so much to get your answer too, is because our platform's indie wrestling. It's all over the world. We have way more shows than just Beyond the Bell. We watch full independent shows from different companies. We're watching spotlight shows where we're watching 2 hours of just nothing but matches and first time watches, et cetera, et cetera. How our platform constantly moves is by recommendations from our guests who come in our show. If we don't know who they are and we haven't heard of them before, we put them on our spreadsheets, and in due time, there's going to be a show, and we're going to sit down and we're going to watch their stuff. And credit Evil Gay.
I got two more.
You go right ahead.
I'm sorry. I got to keep DJ Powers. This child, this man, he is so good. I got to wrestle him at Live Pro, which is run by Teddy Goods. Homie, give him like a year or so. That guy knows what he's doing. He's getting it down. He's going to be someone we hear for like the next couple of years. And my God, this person isn't new by any standard, but I just always feel like when I'm on like a podcast or something, I have to talk about him. TJ freaking Crawford, man.
Yes.
It's so talented. Moves like butter. Like, in the best shape of his life, probably. I understand. Like, he is 5'6", maybe 7, but maybe even 8. I'm sorry. I'm 6'1", so, like, I'm already just... My height's all over the place. But he is built, moves like a sniper rifle. Hits like a sniper rifle. Like, the man is just so talented. It is so crazy. He's literally one of my, if not my favorite wrestler to watch. Like,
he's fantastic.
So creative, so smooth, every time I watch his stuff, I'm like, when is the jig up? When is everyone going to realize he's better than me? I get that I come out in makeup and stuff in a robe, and everyone's like, yes, Queen Slay. But I'm like when are we going to start seeing this guy over here who's like
he's hell
throwing
talented.
4 kicks a second, just crazy.
I am very familiar with him. I've watched a lot of his stuff. I think that as far as out on the West, not just on the West Coast, but the dude's crushing it. He's definitely on radars for sure. If he's not, he should be. 1,000%.
Oh, I'm so sorry. One more actual new person.
Okay.
Actually new. I'm so sorry. I know I'm taking up so much time.
No, you're fine.
But we have a student at Creative Pro. His name is Bobby Cassell. This man is a former MMA fighter, has worked with Amanda Nunes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, trained with her, like, worked side by side. When I tell you, in less than 6 months, this monster has improved leaps, bounds, and jumps. Like, has gone from not knowing anything about wrestling to literally having matches you could have on any card in any place. Like, for him, it's truly just a matter of time and just a couple more months, a little fine-tuning. But I encourage everyone to look up Bobby Cassell, and when you see this man, you'll get what I'm saying. This dude is a beast and is like going to, if he sticks with it, will be someone we talk about now and for the next like few years.
I love it.
Incredible.
I love it because again, a lot of the names that you gave me, I'm not familiar with, but that's the beautiful thing is I can get familiar with them real quick, and I have a platform, and we have an audience that can put them in front of eyeballs, and that's what this is all about. It's always been about what can we do to benefit or to help benefit independent wrestling, and that is give the platform that we just started, and it has snowballed into this bigger thing that just blows my mind every day.
This younger talent, man, they are coming in so hot and heavy, coming in setting off fireworks, trying to get me and my little walker out the freaking door. They're like, come on, Grandpa, let's go. They're like, go to bed, sweetie, it's okay. And I'm like, but I can still do it. And they're like, no, I get it, but it's time.
1,000%. The backside of that question, and this is once I get this one out there, we'll go ahead and tie a bow on things. Who are some people that you want to get in the ring with that you haven't already been in the ring with? Is there anybody out there that strikes out at you that if you had the opportunity, you'd want to do some business with?
I truly am one of those people who would just love to wrestle anyone.
Okay.
It's so hard of me to think like, who do I want to be in the ring with? Because there's so many answers. There's so many people, like anyone on any brand on TV, on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, anyone on Evolve, like anyone on the indies. Like, I truly enjoy just wrestling itself and seeing what me and that other person can do. In terms of working with someone, tell me you cannot see me and Blake Monroe as a duo.
Yes.
Evil Glamour.
Yes. Fucking sold.
The devil on the angel's shoulder. That's me. I'm the devil. She's the angel.
Oh, don't tease me with a good time. Don't tease me with
her theme song. Her theme song. It plays almost 20 times a day on my phone. She's everything.
I hear you, and we need to see that. We need to figure out what we can do to make that happen, because I need to see the package.
When I saw her do her whole thing on NXT, I was like, me and my gay ass standing behind her as the devil on her shoulder, all evil gay, and she's this beautiful thing who's super talented. By the way, like, unreal person, unreal talent. But that's my dream, is that somehow the universe throws us together, because, girl, I wish I looked like that waking up. When I wake up, I think I look like her. What she does in the mirror in the beginning of her entrance is what I actually do in the mirror in real life, except I don't look like that. I look like the dragon from Shrek.
You made me laugh more on this episode than I think I've laughed on any Beyond the Bell I've ever done. I it's fantastic, man. I am so grateful that we were able to spend a little bit of time with you today and be able just to talk and just relax a little bit. Fantastic to talk about some narcissistic behavior. I love the fact that we were able to touch on the LGBTQ plus community and the representation there, man, because that I'm not gonna lie to you. That was one of the first things that drew me in, is the fact that you were one of the first guys that I came across that is embracing themselves for who they are, and I will always hold you to a standard like that, because without guys like you and several others, you are that beacon for the next generation that says you can do it. All you got to do is just get out here and follow the template, follow the plan. We're paving the ground so you guys can walk on it, and it is truly phenomenal to see. I cannot thank you enough for coming in and chatting with me, Mr. Rourke.
Thank you for having me. This is one of the funnest interviews I've ever done. I had the best time, and I'm just so thankful that you invited me on. We got to talk, we got to chat about stuff other than wrestling, but things that are also important in wrestling that need to be discussed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I had a great time.
I know.
And I'm glad I could make you laugh.
Yes.
I'm glad I could make you laugh.
Because as soon as we end, I'm going back to the office for a couple hours. I got corporate on the way there, apparently, so I'll go deal with them in a minute.
I'm going to bed.
Yes, I know. I appreciate you so much, and truly, guys, the easiest way that you can show your support is by sharing, subscribing where you can, and it's been on the screen the entire show. Mr. Rourke keeps it simple. Perfect Aaron 1 over on X, over on Instagram. If you're not following, please go give him a follow. That's all you got to do. Share his stuff. Help push him into the algorithm so that he can be further seen by other people who may live under a rock and not know who he is. If you also are into merchandise, prowrestlingtees.com/arourke1 is where you need to go. Drop down the $20 to $25, get you a shirt. It will go to support Mr. Rourke and everything that he's doing. Because truly, without guys like him getting out there and entertaining us, we don't have anything to watch, and that would make the world a very boring place.
I will say,
go ahead.
I feel like my shirt game on Pro Wrestling Tees eats.
Yes.
I am a bougie bitch. I am someone who is very critical about, as you couldn't tell, about my whole look usually. I am very everything has to be dotted and crossed and meticulous. So if you get yourself an Aaron Rourke shirt, baby, that is going to be the talk of the town. The amount of people in my life who wear that evil gay shirt everywhere and will just send me pictures of them in the grocery store wearing it, and people will be like, I need that shirt. Whose is that? And they go, Aaron Rourke. And they go, who? And they're like, this professional wrestler. It happens a lot. Get yourself an evil gay shirt. It's a great conversation starter.
And it spreads the word at the end of the day. Spread that word. Mr. Rourke has been fantastic. If you'll hang tight 1 second as we go off the air, one question to ask you off air, and then I'll let you go to bed, man. This has been a fantastic interview. Guys, we appreciate each and every one of you who stopped in. We couldn't do the show without you and without you guys who have shown so much support through our platform for what we're doing. We are building. We are moving. There are some major announcements coming in very short order. It has been fantastic. For my guest today, Mr. Aaron Rourke, I am Chris Page, and we will see you next time.